Hey guys, Joel Wall here, and today what I want to go over is the three major shifts that I had to make to my reality to help me build the future that I wanted to build and get me to where I wanted to go in life. So the first thing that I had to change when I was looking at how do I want to build the future that I want to live in, that I'm just demanding out of my life, was my mindset. And there are a lot of things, smaller that I could attribute to this. But the major thing is I was watching this video of Steve Jobs, and he was giving a speech to a college kids that are about to graduate. And he said this:
remembering that you are going to die is the best way I know to avoid the trap of thinking you have something to lose. No one wants to die. Even people who want to go to heaven don't want to die to get there. And yet, death is the destination we all share. No one has ever escaped it. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living with the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary.
And the biggest thing that I took away from that video, the biggest thing that the reason why I'm listing that as a major thing that shifted my mindset, was that we are not taught to think that we will die. We are not taught to think that our dreams could potentially never come true. That it's always going to happen. It's 100% guaranteed. As kids, as young adults, that's pretty much like what we're taught. And then once we get to college, it kind of all gets ripped away from us. And then we get into the job, and then we get kids and family and house and marriage. And so it kind of fucks everything up. So the younger, and again, it doesn't matter where you are in life right now, but the younger you can start thinking about that, and you can start thinking about, if I died today, would I be happy with what I'm about to do? And you actually make choices based off of that and decisions based off of that, your life will change drastically. Drastically. So an example would be like, if you wake up in the morning and you're like, hey, I'm about to go to work. And it's like, dude, if I died today, what would I want to go do? And you're like, man, I want to go spend time with my kids. I want to, be able to travel the world. I want to look at my bank account, and I want to see a lot of money in there rather than a lot of, negatives in there. Then work for that fucking future. But you have to shift out of the mindset that you have been taught, really that you have been programmed to do by our education system and by our society. Our society does not want free thinkers. Our society wants employees. And it wants to dumb down the average of everybody so that they're smart enough to get the job done, but not smart enough to get out of that job to go do something else that empowers them. And so once I shifted my mindset, once I started realizing I need to make decisions not based on my now and where I am now, but based on my future and where I want to be, I started making very different decisions. But what I started realizing was I was running into roadblocks, which brings me to number 2. All right? Your past and everything that's happened in your past, you have to come to terms with it. So you basically have to love your past that got you to where you are now, that will help you build your future. Because all the pains that your past has brought, you should turn them into gains that you're going to get into your future. All right, so I know a lot of people who've had really shit pasts. Maybe it's recently, maybe it's a long time ago. But everybody at some point in life has had to deal with something that was very hard for them. And that will either destroy you or destruct your ability to get you to the future you desire, or it will construct and you'll use it as a building block. So it will either weigh you down or it will push you up. The choice between that, whether going up or down, is always you. Always you. Every situation that happens in your life, you determine the outcome of that situation. You determine where that situation is going to take you. And ultimately, you determine if that situation is going to build up a future you desire to live in, or drag you down into a present that you hate fucking being. And that actually brings me to number 3, which is my favorite by far. And so everyone that I have showed this to, everyone that I have shared this with, just after they started implementing this into their life, their way of living, everything, they has skyrocketed everything that they do. And it's 2 words: I refuse. So everybody likes to preach, oh, I will, or I can, or I want, and that's great. But like when I was over 300 pounds, I wanted to be skinny. I wanted to be fit. I wanted to be healthy, but it never happened because I never moved my ass to get it done. I never made the emotional connection, the energetic, vibrancy inside of me to get this shit done, to move myself out of that couch, to move myself into eating healthier and worrying about what I'm actually fueling my body with. I never did that because I was just hoping that it would work for me, and it never will. So I started saying, I refuse. I refuse to be fat. I refuse to be lazy. I refuse to let my team down. I refuse to let the people around me suffer because of my actions or my inadequacies to take actions. I refuse to live in this present moment, and I demand to be in the future that I fucking desire. So once you have that mindset shift, you need to conquer your past and you need to conquer your present. And you need to go through a filter of true or false. Is this helping me get to the future of what I desire? You need to write down, what is it that you desire? Do you want a loving spouse? Do you want 5 kids? Do you want that dream car? Do you want to live in a nice place? Whatever that is, write it down. Then look at everything. Look at your current relationships, your current financial needs, your current everything that you're doing right now in this present moment, and put it through a filter of, is it helping me or is it hurting me get to my future? And if it's hurting you, remove it.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man.
Because the longer you let it sit, the more it festers in your life. And then guess what? The harder it becomes to remove. So the easiest way to remove these inadequacies in your life is to use the 2 words, I refuse. I refuse to be in this abusive relationship. I refuse to go to this place. I refuse to spend money on blank because I need to get to my future. And if I remove these things out of my life, it will unclog this clogged shithole that I'm in and allow me to be free and unshackle me so that I can get to the future that I fucking deserve. Because you do deserve it.